.env php super global when your application receives a request. However, you may use env helper to retrieve value from these variables in your configuration file. So you can write env and then whatever key you have defined inside .env file. So our second question is how you can access configuration value. You may easily able to access your configuration values using the super global config helper function from anywhere in your application. The configuration value may be accessed using dot syntax, which includes the name of the file and the option you wish to access. So you can access by config app.asset URL. So app is the file name and asset URL is the key by which you have defined your data. Now the second question they might ask, like, if the value didn't exist, then what default value you can get. So second option defines you the value is not set inside assets URL, then by default value will come for you. Now let's check our third question, how you can enable or disable maintenance mode in Laravel. To enable maintenance mode, execute the down Artisan command, that is php artisan down. To disable the maintenance mode, use the up command, that is php artisan up. Now our fourth question is, what is Facades? A facade is a software design pattern which is often used in object-oriented programming, where facade is a class wrapping a complex library to provide a simpler and more readable interface to it. So facades come here to make service available to the developer in a more readable way. A Laravel facade is a class which provides a static-like interface to services inside the container. So we have list of facades which we use in our Laravel. So you can give them the example, like we have crypt, we have log, mail, notification facades we use in our Laravel. Now let's close to question number 5. What is the difference between facades versus helper in Laravel? Laravel includes a variety of helper functions which can perform common tasks like generating view, filtering event, dispatching jobs, or sending HTTP responses. Many of these helper functions perform the same function as corresponding facades. So as per the Laravel documentation, there is no absolutely practical difference between facades and helper, because in some cases helper call facades behind the scene. So if we go to our question number 6, what are the available router methods? So available router methods inside our Laravel is we have get, post, put, patch, delete and options. So we have list of methods. Now if you go to question number 7, how to define route required parameter. So if you have to define any route, suppose you have profile and then you are passing user ID to that one. So that means user ID is always required if you want to get the profile details. So that means ID is required. So how you can define that route? So to define that route, you have to write route :get user ID function, and that's how you can define your required parameter. Now the question comes like how you can define optional route parameter. So whether the name, it's like suppose you are defining a blog, and then if you are going to detail section of that blog, so in which URL can be you have blogs and you have details of that option. So you can define by that one that you have to put question mark after that parameter name. So just like route get user name, and then we are putting question mark. So that means this particular section makes optional. So if we have the name, it's okay. If we don't have, not an issue. But if we remove the question mark, then you always have to give the name. Now let's get to question number 9. What is name route? Name route allow you to translate an URI into a variable. This way, if route changes at some point down the road, all your links will be automatically updated due to the fact that they are referencing the name version of the route rather than hard-coded path. You can specify a name for a route by chaining the method name onto the route definition. Route get, so that's how we can define our route with a name parameter. Now if you go to question number 10, what is middleware? Middleware provide a convenient mechanism for inspecting and filtering HTTP requests entering in your application. For example, Laravel include a middleware that verifies the user of your application is authenticated. If the user is not authenticated, the middleware will redirect the user to your application's login page. However, if the user is authenticated, the middleware will allow the request to proceed the app further into the application. So that means we can say middleware is a layer between request and response. So whatever request is coming in your application, it will pass through that middleware, and based on the middleware, if the request is valid, then we have the response. Otherwise, the middleware will not allow that request in our system. So the next question is how to create a middleware using Artisan command. To create a new middleware, use make middleware Artisan command. So we have PHP Artisan make middleware verify is token. So verify is token is our middleware name. Now the next question is in which file you have to register first. So basically the question is in which file you have to define your middleware first. So middleware class is the middleware property of http kernel.php file. Now that's all for now. So we will back with our part 3 Laravel advanced in your question. So please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you all.